College football Saturdays are back.
SEC Nation is in Auburn, baby.
The craziest season. He's just invincible. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Invincible, the show where we tell the tales of our biggest athletic talents, striving to be invincible on and off the field. My name is Vince Wolfram, and I am so stoked that you're here. My guest this week is a very special talent. This guy is coming off one of the most prolific seasons in program history as just a sophomore, and now, this year, is looking to fuel the fire for his third-ranked Auburn golf squad. He had top 15 finishes in 9 of 11 tournaments, led the team in nearly all statistical categories, and was the Tigers' top golfer at the SEC Championship last year. He is back for more this year and out to chase championships. John Marshall Butler, J.M. Butler, call him what you please. This guy is the real deal. Let's hear his story.
J.M., welcome.
Vince, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Tell me about when you were first introduced to the sport of golf.
I got introduced to golf pretty early. My dad played professionally for a couple of years, playing on the Asian Tour and the Canadian Tour, and then before that he played for the University of Kentucky for 4 years. So, just kind of growing up at an early age, he introduced me to the game, with the plastic clubs and everything.
So you're from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
So am I. We went to the same high school, Trinity High School. That's where sort of I was introduced to you.
Yeah.
Talk about the culture change, whether you knew it or you didn't, that happened when you were there and how you grew as a player at Trinity.
It's always, where are you going to go for high school, Trinity or St. X? And my whole life, everyone told me, Justin Thomas went to St. X. St. X is the powerhouse for golf. If you want to be a good golfer, you go to St. X. My grandfather was actually in the second graduating class at Trinity. He was the first person to kind of feed me information about Trinity and stuff. All my friends were going to St. X.
Talk about the state championship season, because that was big too.
Even though he went to a different school, I kind of looked at what Justin Thomas had done as a high school golfer in the Louisville area. And he had won one state championship, so I knew before I wanted to leave high school, I knew I had to win a state championship, and when I did that, that was definitely a big accomplishment.
Talk about what that step up in your game looked like. When did it sort of come about?
Yeah, I don't think it came about overnight for sure. I just was so competitive and wanted to beat everyone that was around me that I was willing to do whatever it took to outwork those guys. If those guys were practicing for 6 hours a day, I was practicing for 7. It didn't matter how hard they worked, I was just going to outwork them.
And then, obviously, your college, you committed to Auburn, like you said, your junior year. Once you got here, you didn't really waste any time. You were SEC Freshman of the Week 3 times, SEC All-Freshman team. Talk about your mindset coming into your freshman year.
Coming into college was definitely a little uncomfortable for me, as it is for every freshman that comes in. But what I knew inside is that I just wanted to outwork everybody on the team and give myself the best chance to play. And I was able to do that just with a lot of hard work and a lot of persistence and being very, very competitive.
And you had a good year, but your sophomore year was off the charts. Stuff that some of these people have never seen in the history of Auburn golf. Talk about that jump, because that is a huge jump if you look at it, what you did from your freshman year as a 4th or 5th guy to the sophomore year where you're putting up numbers no one's seen before.
From my freshman to sophomore year, there was a lot of maturity. I was more experienced. I played every single event as a freshman. One thing that I'll always remember is freshman year was at regionals for the NCAAs. If you qualify at a regionals, you go to the national championship. And we missed it by 1 shot that year. So that really motivated me to do more coming up the following year.
Do you think so far this year, because you're a couple tournaments in, have you seen that from the end of last year through the summer and now?
This team is even though we're young, we're very hardened. We've had a lot of experiences of failure, and I think that we have a lot of adversity that we've gone through, and that's just brought us closer together as a unit. And honestly, my teammates are my brothers, and I wouldn't trade them for the world.
Number 1 in the country, you're back. Evan Bowe's back. You got a lot of good guys in the groups. What is your team goal for this year?
Well, I try not to be result oriented, but yes, a national championship is a result-oriented goal of mine.
Now I want to talk personal goals. What have you worked on this summer to improve from your, record-breaking sophomore season to now being a junior, being an upperclassman, being a leader?
I want to win multiple times this year. I want to be a first-team All-American, Arnold Palmer Cup team. Last year, I felt like I should have been on that Arnold Palmer Cup team, and felt like I kind of got snubbed at that a little bit. But if I could make the Arnold Palmer Cup team, be a first-team All-American, and win multiple times, that'd be a good year in my opinion.
All right, so that is all the questions I had golf-wise.
Okay.
So now we know J.M. Butler, the golfer. Now it's time where we get to see you outside of the golf, you outside of your sport, and we get to know you as a person. So we're going to go through some speed round questions here. You ready?
Yep.
All right. J.M. Butler, do you have a hidden talent?
No.
What's your favorite superhero?
I'm double jointed in my left hand.
So am I.
Okay.
Look at that. I knew I liked you, J.M. Favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
What's the funniest prank that you or your teammates have pulled on another teammate?
I'd say one of the funniest is we filled Carson Baca's locker full of golf balls, like halfway to his locker, and our lockers are like 8 feet tall, so like 4 feet. Probably 200 golf balls in there, and then he opened it and they just all spilled out for our locker room. That's pretty funny.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song? Song that maybe nobody knows that you would listen to, but you know it. That smile says yes, you do.
I don't know. I listen to a lot of music. Guilty pleasure. I kind of like Elvis. I like Elvis.
Okay.
Like Elvis Presley, and I like all different types of music. Like I listen to rap a lot, hip hop, pop, rock. But yeah, like people don't know I listen to Elvis. I listen.
What was your last Google search?
Uh,
Oh, he's checking. It's getting real.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but we're going to Milwaukee tomorrow, and we're trying to convince our head coach to get tickets for the Brewers Marlins game on Friday night. And I was looking up the Marlins roster and staff.
If you had to be one Disney character, which would you be?
Can't even think of a Disney character right now.
Cinderella. Whatever.
Cinderella. Why would I want to be Cinderella?
Twinkle Toes. What's a conspiracy theory that you believe to be true?
The killing of JFK.
Who's the funniest player on the team?
Frankie Harris.
If you were stranded on a desert island with one of your teammates, who would it be?
Max Johnson.
If you only were able to bring 3 items on that trip, what would you bring?
Can I bring a boat?
Hey, you bring 3 items.
I'll bring a boat. And then the biggest tank of gas I could find, and then that's the second, and then like a knife, like a bowie knife.
Survival mode, JM. JM, thanks, my brother.
Go Rocks, take state.
Thanks, JM. What we know to be the college basketball Blue Bloods are seeing great success on the gridiron this year. Success that we haven't seen in a long time from these programs. The Kansas Jayhawks, the reigning national champions in basketball, are 5-0 for the first time since 2009. They came in at number 19 in the polls this week, their first AP poll appearance since week 8 of that 2009 season. College Game Day is headed there for their first game against TCU. Rock Chalk Jayhawk is looking like a program on the rise. The Kentucky Wildcats, after their near victory at Ole Miss last week, check in at number 13 in the polls. Quarterback Will Levis is looking more dangerous to opposing defenses each and every week. Mark Stoops has brought this program from a bottom of the SEC type team every year to one that is battling for the top of the conference.
This program wasn't born on third base. So some may, but I could promise you this football team didn't wake up on third base. So many people have done so much that you have to have a respect and appreciation for. We all want more.
UCLA, college basketball program that has the most national championships with 11, had a big win last week over number 15 Washington, 40-32. They were previously unranked but jumped up to number 18 with the win. Last, but certainly not least, Syracuse is 5-0 for the first time in 35 years. Sophomore running back Sean Tucker racked up his 15th 100-yard game in Week 5 with a career high of rushing 232 rushing yards. Their next 2 games versus NC State and at Clemson will tell a lot more about where Dino Babers' team is headed. Now, it is time for Tweets of the Week, baby. We got 3 of them this week. The first one coming from former Auburn football player and now Director of Player Relations, Devon Reed, who tweeted after the LSU-Auburn football game, "I've been to every SEC stadium as a player and as a coach. Jordan-Hare Stadium is top 2, and it is not 2. Hashtag WDE. As someone who went to the game myself, I would have to absolutely agree. That place was rocking. Tweet number 2. A pretty funny viral Twitter moment with this one, looking at 2 Patriots quarterbacks, Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, bringing about the question, I'm supposed to believe that these are 2 different people? I'll give it to this guy. They do low-key look like twins. That's pretty wild. For our third and final tweet, this one comes from newly paid Miami Heat guard Tyler Hero. He signed a 4-year, $130 million contract to stay in South Beach. Gotta love a good old Bugs Bunny meme. Tyler's Twitter game is still undefeated. Plus, stack your bread, Mr. Hero. Stack your bread. Usually on this show, I like to talk straight sports, but I want to flip the script to talk about something very important happening this month. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the annual campaign to raise awareness about the impact of breast cancer, hence why I wore the pink suit today. Breast cancer is one of the leading health crises for women in the United States. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. Join the cause and help spread the word about the importance of breast cancer screening and support. To get involved, donate, or learn more, visit nationalbreastcancer.org. That's all I've got for episode 2 of Invincible. I hope you all had as much fun as I did. Have a great week, and don't forget to wear pink. I'll see you next time. Peace.